This is not a rumor, not a myth, but the clearest Bigfoot footage ever leaked in 2026 online.
What you are about to see shatters decades of denial in seconds. Massive frames, impossible proportions, eyes that reflect awareness, not instinct. These recordings don't tease the idea of Bigfoot. They corner it, forcing science, skeptics, and believers into the same uncomfortable silence. This isn't shaky folklore or blurry wishful thinking. This is movement with purpose, behavior with intelligence, a presence that doesn't run, doesn't panic, and doesn't hide the way legends are supposed to. Scientists didn't just raise eyebrows, they stopped speaking. Because when something this clear walks across roads, through forests, past homes, and straight into our blind spots, the question is no longer, does it exist? But why it's allowing itself to be seen now. Every frame feels deliberate. Every pause feels calculated. And once you notice the patterns, you can't unsee them.
Before we dive in, like, comment, and subscribe to Mystery Footage Uncovered now.
Shadowbreaking snowline. Early January 2026, before sunrise in a remote Eastern European forest, a civilian drone mapping avalanche paths filmed something moving downhill while two hikers unknowingly crossed below. A dark mass slides out of the tree line, caught on camera. Arms swing past the knees, filmed through blowing snow. Eyes flare orange for half a second. Scientists shocked. What appears here could be a cold-adapted relict hominin, standing roughly 2.4 to 3 meters tall, shoulders unnaturally wide, fur long and rain-matted over gray skin, descending with steps heavy like a buffalo, yet silent like a stalking cat, suggesting elastic lower limb tendons, reinforced hips, and a center of gravity built for steep terrain, like a 1990s refrigerator gliding downhill with the balance of an NFL linebacker. If it chose the steepest line directly past the drone's blind spot, was it avoiding terrain or surveillance? The guardrail walker. Mid-January 2026, dusk in the Pacific Northwest, a private dashcam recorded a figure on an empty mountain highway as the driver slowed in shock. A tall shape walks the center line on camera, shoulders wider than a human by half, filmed without flinching. No fear response, no reaction, no one believed. This subject's proportions, arms extending below the knees, torso barrel-thick, fur dark and clumped as if damp, suggest a creature built to conserve heat and energy, possibly capable of long-distance travel without exhaustion, moving with a predator's economy rather than panic, like a refrigerated warehouse on legs crossing asphalt as if it were forest floor. Why would something evolve to avoid humans choose the open road at twilight, unless it already knew no one would stop? Porch light incident. Late evening, January 2026, rural North America, a home security camera activated as a property owner slept inside. A massive figure steps into infrared, caught on camera. Eyes reflect dull red, scanned by motion sensors. A wet animal breath mixes with wind, scientists shocked. The size, easily over 2.5 meters. The wide chest, long arms, and thick fur covering earth-brown skin resemble a mammal optimized for intimidation and survival, possibly producing a musky odor from active scent glands. Its movement unnervingly smooth for something so heavy, like a bear taught to walk with human intent. If it approached the porch without touching the door, was it curious or confirming who was inside? The silent gatekeeper. January 2026, just after midnight, a farm camera near a wooden gate recorded movement triggered by livestock sensors. A shape fills the frame on camera. Footfalls shake gravel, filmed without sound. Eyes glow faint orange. No one believed. This figure's anatomy: broad shoulders, thick neck, fur clotted as if from rain, mirrors descriptions found in Skookum oral histories, Native American accounts of forest giants acting as watchers of boundary spaces, appearing near gates, trails, and thresholds, which may explain why the subject stops precisely at the fence line, never crossing, never retreating. What happens if the forest decides your property line is no longer yours? Archival woods anomaly. Undated but verified before 1970, rediscovered and digitized in January 2026, an old Forest Patrol reel shows an unusually tall figure beside a man. A massive form stands still, caught on camera. Shoulders dwarf the human, filmed in silence. No blur, no panic. Scientists shocked. The The resemblance to modern footage is unsettling. Same height range, same arm length, same heavy yet relaxed posture, suggesting a stable population rather than myth. A species hiding not because it is rare, but because it understands when to be seen. If this has always been there, why are we only noticing now? The Ridgewalker silence. January 2026, late afternoon, a handheld phone recorded movement on a logging trail as wind suddenly died. A dark figure moves between trunks, filmed briefly. Steps are fast but soft, caught on unstable video. No sound follows. Scientists shocked. Standing over 2.7 meters, shoulders like a cold storage wall, fur dark and damp, this being moves with predatory efficiency, heavy as a wild ox yet quiet as breath, producing a low exhale that blends human, bear, and wind, as if designed to unsettle rather than attack. If the forest goes silent when it passes, is that fear or recognition? The Stoneface approach. Deep inside a leafless hardwood forest, a stabilized camera captures a massive figure stepping between trees, framed by mossed rock like a doorway no human built. A broad chest fills the frame, caught on camera. Long arms swing low, filmed without haste. Dark eyes glance sideways. Scientists shocked. This subject appears between 2.3 and 2.8 meters tall, shoulders impossibly wide, fur dense and dark with a damp sheen, skin beneath reading gray-brown, moving with the weight of a wild bull, yet the silence of a stalking cat, suggesting thick foot padding, flexible ankles, and a skeletal structure evolved to move unseen through cluttered terrain, like a walk-in freezer gliding through a living room without touching the walls. If it knew exactly where the trees would block the lens, how many times has it practiced this path? The hidden rester. From a concealed vantage in dense greenery, a camera peers into brush where something massive lies partially reclined, barely moving. A furred back shifts on camera. A massive arm twitches, scanned through leaves. No flight response, no one believed. The posture suggests rest rather than concealment. A being confident in its camouflage, with fur long and clumped as if from rain, arms extending well past the knees, and a barrel torso hinting at powerful lungs and slow, efficient metabolism, like a creature designed to wait for hours without sound, blending primate intelligence with large mammal patience. Why would something afraid of discovery choose to rest so close to an open line of sight? The headlight impact. A forward-facing camera records a sudden eruption of motion as headlights wash over a towering form crossing wet pavement. A massive leg flashes past, caught on video. Water explodes outward, filmed mid-stride. The figure never stumbles, scientists shocked. The stride length and balance imply reinforced joints and elastic tendons capable of absorbing impact at speed. A body weighing as much as a small car yet moving fluidly, like a charging bison that learned to run upright, combining brute force with predator control. If it crossed inches from a moving vehicle without hesitation, did it misjudge the speed or understand it perfectly? The Ridge Chaser. From an elevated angle, a lone figure runs uphill across open ground, arms pumping as if gravity barely applies. A tall silhouette accelerates, filmed clean. Legs extend far past human range, caught on camera. Distance collapses fast, no one believed. The movement suggests extreme power-to-weight efficiency. Shoulders wide as a cold storage wall, fur rippling with each stride, feet landing heavy but quiet, like a refrigerator sprinting with the mechanics of an elite linebacker, hinting at a species evolved for sudden bursts rather than endurance chases. If it can close distance this quickly, how often does it choose not to? The family crossing. Across a wide, barren clearing, a large figure moves ahead while two smaller shapes follow at measured spacing. Three figures align, caught on camera. Size differences are unmistakable, filmed steady. No vocalization, scientists shocked. The height variance implies a social unit, possibly parental, with the lead figure standing near 3 meters, the others half its size, all sharing the same dark fur and long arms, suggesting learned movement patterns and group awareness more consistent with primates than solitary beasts. If this is a family, how many generations have grown up never being seen? The turnaway moment. At the edge of tall grass, a massive figure pauses, back turned, as if sensing the camera behind it. A wide back fills the frame, on camera. The head tilts slightly, scanned by autofocus. Then it leaves. No one believed. The hesitation feels deliberate, a creature aware without confirming, fur thick and matted, shoulders towering, emitting no sound beyond wind, moving away with the confidence of something that knows it cannot be followed, like a silent storm choosing another direction. If it knew it was seen and still walked away, what does that say about who controls the encounter? The wide field departure. Across an empty yellow field bordered by dark forest, a long-lens camera records a towering figure walking away while a much smaller shape keeps close at its side. Two silhouettes move in sync, caught on camera. The larger slows, the smaller adjusts, filmed without zoom. No sound carries. Scientists shocked. The height difference suggests an adult over 2.6 meters escorting a juvenile. Shoulders far wider than human range, arms hanging past the knees, thick dark fur clumped as if damp, concealing gray-brown skin beneath, moving with a pace that is heavy like a wild ox yet soft like a stalking cat, implying learned coordination, social awareness, and a survival strategy built around silence rather than speed. If this was a parent choosing an open field, was it demonstrating confidence or teaching the young when humans are least dangerous? The sudden ground feint. At the edge of a pale meadow, a handheld camera captures a massive figure dropping low, almost collapsing, before shifting its weight again. A dark body twists on camera. Long arms brace instinctively, caught on unstable footage. The motion is controlled. No one believed. This movement suggests extreme muscular density and joint tolerance, a body built to absorb sudden shifts without injury, shoulders like a cold storage wall, fur thick and matted, steps landing heavy but muted, like a bison trained to move with feline restraint, hinting at a creature evolved for uneven terrain and ambush avoidance rather than upright display. If it fell without panic and rose without haste, how many times has it rehearsed being watched? The three-figure line. From behind winter brush, a camera captures three figures crossing open ground in a staggered formation. One tall leader advances, filmed steadily. Two smaller forms follow, caught on camera. No vocal signals. Scientists shocked. The spacing implies group behavior, possibly familial, with the largest nearing 3 meters tall, shoulders 50% wider than a man, fur dark and rain-bunched, eyes reflecting faint amber, suggesting a primate lineage with social structure, memory, and restraint, moving like a living wall that parts the land for those behind it. If they cross open ground only together, what does that say about what hunts them? The headlight standoff. A vehicle-mounted camera captures headlights flooding a forest road as a massive figure steps into the beam and does not retreat. A wide chest emerges, on camera. Eyes flare dull red, scanned by glare. The air feels heavy, no one believed. Standing well over 2.4 meters, arms past the knees, fur thick and dark over earth-toned skin. The figure advances with a smell witnesses describe as wet animal and rotting wood. Its breath a low mix of human, bear, and wind, moving like a 90s refrigerator rolling forward with the balance of an NFL lineman, evoking the Wendigo legends of North America, beings recorded in early accounts as tall, silent, and fearless of light. If it didn't fear the headlights, what does it fear? The fence line passer. A fixed night camera records a tall form moving parallel to a metal fence, never touching it, never slowing. A shoulder brushes the frame edge, caught on camera. Long fingers hang relaxed, filmed clean. No attempt to cross, scientists shocked. The behavior suggests boundary recognition rather than confusion. A creature large enough to step over barriers yet choosing not to. Shoulders massive, fur dark and slick. Steps heavy but eerily quiet, like a predator that understands human rules without following them, conserving energy and attention. If it respects boundaries we invented, who taught it where they are? The Woodline watcher. Through tangled branches, a camera captures a hulking figure standing still between trees. Partially obscured, but unmistakably upright. A broad outline freezes on camera. Eyes reflect faint orange, caught on digital zoom. The forest goes quiet. Scientists shocked. At nearly 2.8 meters tall with shoulders wider than any human frame, fur thick and matted over gray skin. This stillness recalls skookum accounts from indigenous records. Forest watchers described as appearing only when humans move incorrectly through their land, which aligns with this figure's refusal to advance or flee, simply observing until the camera shifts. If the forest falls silent when it watches us, is that fear or respect? The Snowbound rider. A grainy home video frame shows a massive dark figure mounted atop a moving animal, crossing a frozen clearing as if weight means nothing. A silhouette rises unnaturally high, caught on camera. The animal strains, yet does not collapse, filmed end to end. The rider never shifts balance, scientists shocked. The proportions suggest a being over 2.7 meters tall, shoulders far wider than human range, long arms draped low, fur thick and dark against pale snow, skin beneath reading earth brown, moving with a calm dominance that implies advanced balance, core strength, and an understanding of momentum, like a 90s refrigerator calmly riding a galloping engine without vibration. If it could ride instead of walk, what other behaviors have we mistaken for impossibility? The 4-point crawler. From a distant embankment, a camera locks onto a large shape moving low through tall grass, limbs spread wide. A broad back hunches forward on camera. Knuckles strike earth, caught on shaky focus. The speed doubles suddenly. No one believed. The motion suggests a creature capable of switching locomotion modes, using forelimbs longer than its legs, distributing weight like a great ape but moving with predatory urgency, fur dark and clumped, shoulders flexing wider than a doorway, hinting at a skeletal structure adapted for both upright dominance and low-profile escape. If it drops to all fours only when watched, what does it know about how we see? The Alleyway interruption. A narrow residential passage fills with panic as a towering form bursts through hanging laundry and frozen onlookers. A wall of fur surges forward, caught on camera. People recoil instinctively, filmed mid-step. The figure never looks back. Scientists shocked. Standing well above 2.4 meters with arms swinging past the knees, fur thick and matted, shoulders wider than two men side by side, the creature moves through human space with disturbing certainty, its footfalls heavy yet controlled, like a charging bull that knows exactly how wide the corridor is. If it navigated a human alley without touching the walls, how long has it studied us? The roadside parallel. A fixed forward camera records a massive figure walking the shoulder of a forest road, matching the vehicle's pace without turning its head. A tall back moves steadily, on camera. Long strides eat distance, caught on dash cam. No reaction to engines. No one believed. The gait implies reinforced hips and knees, fur dark and damp, shoulders broad as a cold storage wall, eyes reportedly reflecting faint red when glanced from mirrors, moving like a predator unconcerned with noise, evoking Wendigo accounts describing tall, silent beings that travel roads without fear of man-made light. If it knows cars won't stop, who taught it that rule? The Greenfield escort. Under harsh green illumination, a massive figure advances, while two smaller forms hurry behind, their eyes glowing like embers. Three shapes emerge, caught on camera. The leader slows deliberately, filmed clean. The smaller ones adjust instantly, scientists shocked. The size contrast suggests a family group, one nearing 3 meters tall, shoulders impossibly wide, fur thick and slick, skin gray beneath, the others half-sized but identical in movement, implying learned behavior, protection strategies, and a social structure more complex than legend allows. If this is a family, how many generations have crossed this field unseen? The Riverline observer. From behind a fishing rod, a camera records a tall figure standing mid-river, water breaking silently around its legs. A dark form pauses on camera. The current bends around it, caught on wide lens. No splash, no rush. Scientists shocked. The stance suggests immense lower body strength and balance, fur soaked but heavy, arms hanging low, shoulders wider than a freezer door, eyes reflecting faint orange through mist, moving only when the fisherman shifts, like a predator deciding whether the moment matters. If it let itself be seen in open water, what else was watching from the trees? Driveway contact event. A fixed night vision camera overlooking a quiet driveway records a massive figure stepping close enough to brush a parked car, its shadow swallowing the fence line. A long arm swings out, caught on camera. Gravel shifts under heavy feet, filmed in infrared. The car rocks slightly. Scientists shocked. The figure appears between 2.4 and 3 meters tall, shoulders 40–70% wider than a human, arms extending past the knees, fur thick and pale and infrared with darker clumps suggesting dampness, gray-brown skin visible beneath, moving heavy like a bull, yet controlled like a stalking cat, implying reinforced joints and an understanding of fragile human objects, like a 90s refrigerator reaching out without tipping. If it knows exactly how much force not to use, how often has it been this close before? Mailbox pass by. A wide-angle home camera captures a tall shape moving past a roadside mailbox, never stopping, never looking toward the house. A broad back glides forward on camera. Footsteps fall out of sync with size, filmed clean. No hesitation at lights, no one believed. Standing well over 2.5 meters with a barrel chest and massive shoulders, fur dense and dark, lightly matted as if from rain, the figure's gait is smooth and economical, heavy as a bison yet quiet as wind through trees, suggesting thick foot padding and a nervous system tuned to avoid drawing attention even in open spaces. If it ignores the house completely, was the camera the only thing it noticed? Snow road intervention. A forward-facing camera records a frozen forest road where a large animal breaks traction and something larger steps into the frame beside it. A towering shape closes distance, caught on video. One arm lifts as if guiding, filmed mid-motion. The animal veers away unharmed, scientists shocked. The figure's height and reach suggest a being capable of exerting control without violence. Shoulders like a cold storage wall, fur dark and clumped, emitting a reported odor of wet animal and rotting wood. Its movement heavy but precise, like a linebacker redirecting a play without tackling. If it can intervene without killing, what does it choose not to intervene in? Porch light struggle. A home camera records a sudden encounter near a lit porch as a human figure stumbles backward and a massive shape fills the frame. A wall of fur surges forward on camera. Long arms wrap and release, caught on grainy footage. The human is left standing. No one believed. The size difference is extreme. The larger figure nearly 3 meters tall, shoulders impossibly wide, arms reaching far past the knees, fur thick and dark over earth-toned skin, moving with explosive speed yet restraint, like a freight elevator stopping inches before impact, suggesting intent rather than loss of control. If it could overpower easily but didn't, what message was it sending? Truck bed encounter. A fixed camera near a small outbuilding captures a massive figure approaching a pickup truck where a person stands frozen in place. A huge silhouette blocks the light, caught on camera. Eyes reflect dull orange-red, filmed steady. A low breath carries on wind. Scientists shocked. The figure's posture, upright, balanced, arms low, suggests confidence rather than aggression. Fur thick and rain-matted, skin beneath gray-brown, shoulders wider than the truck cab, producing a sound described as a mix of human exhale, bear huff, and wind through hollow wood, evoking early Wendigo accounts describing tall forest beings that confront but rarely pursue. If it wanted the human gone, why let them leave upright? Ridgeline blackout. Through a green-tinted lens, a massive figure stands partially behind a tree, while armed silhouettes keep their distance. A broad shoulder peels from cover, on camera. Eyes flare pale green-white, scanned by optics. The forest goes unnaturally quiet, scientists shocked. At roughly 2.7 meters tall with extreme shoulder width, long arms, dense fur slick with moisture, and movement both fast and eerily soft, the figure appears to understand lines of sight and cover, stepping back just as the camera adjusts, like a predator trained by generations of being hunted without ever being caught. If even silence feels tactical here, who is really controlling the encounter? After examining every frame, every shadow, every unnatural silence, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. These moments were not staged for us. They happened whether we were ready or not. Across forests, roads, fields, and backyards, something massive moves with intent, restraint, and awareness. Not charging blindly, not hiding completely. Watching, choosing, leaving just enough evidence to haunt the edge of certainty. What unsettles people most is not the size, the strength, or even the possibility that Bigfoot exists. It's the pattern, the calm, the way these encounters feel less like accidents and more like controlled exposures, as if we are being slowly introduced to something that has always been there, waiting for the right moment to be noticed. Science may hesitate, authorities may dismiss, but cameras don't imagine hesitation in a pause, or intelligence in silence. These recordings ask us a deeper question. What else shares this world with us, unseen, unheard, yet fully aware? If these images made you uneasy, curious, or reflective, that reaction matters. It means you're thinking for yourself. Like this video if you believe the truth isn't always official. Comment with what you saw that others might miss. Subscribe to Mystery Footage Uncovered, because some truths don't want to stay hidden.